Welcome to the Wrestling Replay. It's Kato here with your Monday Night Raw replay of the week. I hope you guys are having a really good week. The video was up a little late because I was going to change the format of how I did things. I was going to actually, wait to the very end of the week and then do the Raw and AEW replays at the very end of the week. But, I don't think I can wait that long to do the replay, man. So I'm just going to stick with how I've been doing it at the end of each show and at the end of each pay-per-view, and maybe at the end of the week, just kind of have like a big open talk about discussion of, whatever we want to talk about in the world of wrestling that week and prior to. All right, so for Monday Night Raw, I'm not going to get into every match because I normally post a full breakdown of everything that happened in the description down below. So I'm going to talk about the stuff that kind of just, really mattered. First and foremost, you had Asuka defeating Shayna Baszler via pinfall. So what that does is actually lines Asuka and Lana up, gives them some type of momentum going forward. Now, Lana will be facing Nia Jax next week. I guarantee she somehow finds a way to get a win over Nia Jax. I'm not sure how that will be, whether that will be, outside interference, whether that will be Asuka distracting Nia Jax or, whatever. But it's no way she's going to beat Nia Jax straight up. But I do think that she's going to find a way to win that match and just continue to build the momentum heading forward into the pay-per-view. Now, we also seen Kofi Kingston versus Shelton Benjamin. Now, Kofi defeated Shelton Benjamin, but right after that match, Cedric said, he got in the ring, like, I'm pretty much tired of this. I'm tired of you guys thinking we're a joke. Get back in the ring and you fight me one-on-one. Now, Cedric actually got the win over Kofi Kingston. Now he holds a win over both of the tag team champions. He holds a win over Kofi Kingston and he holds a win over Xavier Woods. What does that mean, man? Is Shelton Benjamin actually the weak link of the Hurt Business? Are we looking at a point where we're going to be phasing Shelton Benjamin out? Are we looking at a point where, Cedric is going to, pretty much do his own thing and, there's no singles title for him to go for, so I'm not exactly what he's going to be doing anyway. But maybe we'll see a situation where Bobby Lashley drops that United States belt and maybe Cedric and Lashley actually team up and become the tag team and they'll phase out Shelton Benjamin, something like that. Or maybe bring in Titus O'Neil, who they actually already beat up, but I'm not sure what they're going to do. But Cedric is definitely the one who's actually gaining victories right now inside of the Hurt Business. So there's definitely a story inside there that's being told. We just kind of have to wait for a little while to figure out exactly what they're trying to tell us, exactly where they're trying to lead us to. Now, speaking of the Hurt Business, we have Bobby Lashley versus Jeff Hardy. Now, what makes this match so important to me is the fact that I've been echoing for weeks. We need to see, Matt Riddle, someone like Keith Lee, go after that United States title. Or I would love to see Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy actually team up and become a tag team because they have so much charisma. They have so many fans following the two. You gotta think this would be a really fun, exciting tag team to watch in the WWE right now. So, Jeff ended up, tapping out to the Hurt Lock, but Bobby Lashley would not let the lock go. So Matt Riddle, who was actually at ringside during the match to make sure it was going to be an even match, he got in the ring and pretty much made Bobby let go of the hold. And it kind of foreshadowed maybe a possible tag team forming. Before the match, Matt Riddle was trying to pump Jeff Hardy up, saying maybe they could be the Hardy Bros, something like that. Hardy didn't seem to, downplay the idea, but we'll have to actually see, what gets put into place and what happens and where we'll go from here. But I think that would be a pretty cool tag team to watch. Definitely will be exciting. So maybe we'll see that going into the future because Raw, to me, is definitely really hurting for tag teams. Really as a whole, I think the Raw and SmackDown roster are really hurting for tag teams who actually gel and mesh well together. Like Dolph and Rude. I thought they was just going to be a better tag team than what they are, but it's just like something's not clicking with these two guys. I don't know what it is. They could be the best of friends, outside the ring, but in the ring, the chemistry just seems a little off, but we'll have to see where they go from there. And the next match I want to talk about, it's actually AJ Styles, MIz Morrison versus Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. AJ Styles actually got the pinfall victory in that match. Now, it wasn't over Drew McIntyre, it was over Sheamus, but still, nonetheless, he managed to get the win for his team. That's some big momentum building up for him to go into this TLC match where he will have go against Drew McIntyre with his bodyguard in the background. So I don't know if they're trying to build a tag team between Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Maybe they're trying to foreshadow the next actual feud for Drew McIntyre and that belt. Will it be Sheamus or what? We're not sure, because a lot of all the other main events are kind of like, you know, built up in their own feud. You know, you got Randy and Bray and The Fiend. They're doing their thing right now. You got AJ Styles and Drew. They're doing their thing right now. So who would probably be the next big star? It would have to be somebody like Braun Strowman, who's out right now on injury. It would have to be someone who like Jeff Hardy, who's actually being, you know, look like he's putting a tag team, or at least drop it down to that United States title division. Or it would be somebody like Sheamus, a former world champion, someone who has history with Drew McIntyre and could possibly have a pretty good feud going forward. So look for Drew McIntyre to retain his belt and watch the feud between him and Sheamus happens. I prefer to see him as a tag team, but I wouldn't mind seeing that feud happens. I just really want them to boost up and rebuild that tag team division and make it pretty good, man. Make it good like it used to be way back when. Now, what I really want to get to, now this is the match that, you know, everybody's been waiting for. This is what I really want to talk about. You had Bray Wyatt going against Randy Orton. Now, I've been seeing a lot of comments. I've been seeing a lot of messages and DMs and whatnot. But people are saying, why do I think it's a good idea that Randy fought Bray on Monday Night Raw when they're fighting at TLC? Why do I think that's such a good idea? Why do I think that was good? I'm like, because The Fiend is in Bray Wyatt. Yes, they are the same person playing two different characters, but they're not the same wrestler. And then it just showed even more so in that match. If you think about it, Randy already has a leg up on Bray Wyatt. He knows how to beat Bray Wyatt. He's done it before. He's never beat The Fiend. He's never fought The Fiend. And really, he's never even won any encounter with The Fiend, I guess, besides running away and throwing Alexa Bliss at The Fiend. You know, besides that, The Fiend kind of has Randy Orton's number when you really think about it. So, with Randy beating Bray Wyatt, what it does is kind of gain momentum. And actually, you can't really say he won, because before the refs counted 3, the lights went out and The Fiend appeared. But if you want to say he won, fine. I guess it would be disqualification. But if you want to say he won, fine. But that makes perfect sense, because it allowed Randy to build momentum into TLC. But he's going against a force like he's never seen before. You know, this is a force like The Undertaker. You got to think, he just hit that RKO on Bray Wyatt. And in about, you know, a matter of seconds, The Fiend comes out, and it's like The Fiend is a whole new person. Like, that didn't faze him at all. So RKO, will it be enough to put away The Fiend? You got to think about that. What will a curve stomp be enough? Or a punt kick? Will a punt kick be enough to put away The Fiend? Those are the things we got to really think about. I think this builds great momentum and anticipation for this Randy Orton and The Fiend match at TLC, because a lot of us are thinking like, okay, cool, it's going to be like a continuation of the Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt compound match. No, this isn't. This is something totally new. This is something totally different. He's never been in the ring with someone like The Fiend. Okay? He's never felt the force like this before, and now Randy has to try to figure out exactly how he can beat The Fiend. I wouldn't be surprised if Randy and The Fiend match don't last too long. If it goes less than 10 minutes, I wouldn't be surprised, because I could see this being a match where Randy has to take a step back, rebuild, refine himself, and then come back and face The Fiend again. You know, find a way in. The same way he had to find a way in by infiltrating the Wyatt family in order to find a weakness for Bray Wyatt and then beat Bray Wyatt. I think he's going to have to do the same thing with The Fiend. I think he's going to have to find a way, find a weakness and a way to exploit that weakness. That's how he'll be able to beat The Fiend. But if I'm WWE, if I'm these writers, do I let Randy Orton beat The Fiend? You already buried him once. Do you want to bury him again so soon? And to Randy Orton nonetheless? No knock on Randy Orton. Randy Orton is one of the greatest to me. He's one of the greats. But do you really want Randy Orton to knock The Fiend's momentum off? The Fiend, he's going to be your guy going forward for the next 5, 6, 7 years if you decide to book him and build him that way. So Randy, The Fiend can't keep losing momentum every time you're giving him a little bit of push and the fans are really getting behind him and the audience really wants to see him. You can't keep pulling that back from us, because eventually we're not going to not care about The Fiend anymore. It's not going to be as important. When he comes back, yeah, it may be a little excitement for a second, but after that, it'll kind of die off. It'll wear off. He's beatable now to anyone at this point, So I think that they should actually let The Fiend bury Randy. Put Randy out for a month, maybe 2. Maybe Randy comes back around Royal Rumble time. And then, maybe attack The Fiend and throw The Fiend out the Royal Rumble. Maybe he's the only one that can, get him out, even though he's not actually inside the Royal Rumble match. I think that would be something cool to do to build more anticipation to the WrestleMania season for the two. Maybe they could have a different type of matchup than a regular one-on-one, a typical one-on-one match. That would be cool. So we'll have to see. I just think it'll be a bright idea to actually let The Fiend momentum continue to build. So when you do decide to put that belt back on The Fiend, it will actually mean something. It should be a long run, a long title run, because no one should be able to stop him. At least not to the brand split. Maybe you can bring someone over from SmackDown to compete with him or something like that. But other than that, no one should be able to stop him. Maybe when Braun Strowman come back, let Braun do it. They seem to have some unfinished business as well. But we'll have to see what they decide to do with that. All right, so that was your Monday Night Raw replay of the week. What I'm going to do is go ahead and drop the full breakdown of everything that happened in Monday Night Raw down in the description below. All right, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. Please smash that like button and make sure your notifications are turned on so that you get a little alert anytime we drop a video. There'll be a lot more material coming out. I'll have that AEW replay coming up really soon, SmackDown replay coming up really soon as well. Okay. Now first let's talk about a segment. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. I don't really have any topics on the docket yet, but I have seen and been in a lot of interesting discussions nonetheless on Instagram. Make sure you follow the Wrestling Replay on Instagram. Same title, just add the @sign. But I've been in some very interesting debates. So I may pull some of that stuff up and actually talk about it, bring it to you guys, the masses, and see what you guys think about it. All right. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys think about Randy Orton and The Fiend going forward. Do you like the feud? Do you think Randy should win? Do you think The Fiend should win? What do you see with that? What do you see with Cedric can't even get his name out. What do you see with Cedric Alexander and the Hurt Business scene? Him and Bobby Lashley are the only people that's actually winning matches right now. What do you think about that? And what do you think about Drew McIntyre and Sheamus? Let me know about that as well. And if Drew McIntyre will be able to hold on to his belt at the TLC, whether that be to AJ Styles or to the Miz. Let me know what you guys think. All right. I will be running a Christmas holiday special. We're going to be giving away $50 in either Pro Wrestling Tee merch, or we're going to be giving away up to $50 worth of WWE merch. You get to decide your merch and your size, whatever you like. Okay. That contest will be running over on Instagram. So if you don't follow us, please go follow. It sucks I did this at the end of the video, because normally once I'm done the replay, people kind of like click off. Man, that sucks. Oh well. But I'm Kato, signing out. Peace.